Okay, one of the ways that I want to be able to use this Generark power base unit is I want to be able to replace my gas generator right there. And what I use my gas generator for most is running power tools and running my microwave. And so I'm going to show that this unit here will run any power tools, and that way I could take this along with me. Just put it in my truck if I'm working somewhere in a remote area, take this along, and I can do my building, I can do my trimming, I can do all kinds of work using this instead of having to use a gas generator. So this is a Black & Decker string trimmer. You're all familiar with one of these. Look at that. It says this is running about 345 watts. It runs absolutely fantastic on that, and with a long extension cord, I can take that anywhere out, like I have to do along my fences and stuff out there. It's a lot easier to haul this around out there to go do my weed trimming around my big acre yard here than it is to haul a gas generator around. And those little battery units, they don't last very long. This will last for a very long time. So there's that. And this is my power saw. And I use this all the time because I'm always building stuff. I also have skill saws and some other saws. This is my Ryobi power saw. Works perfectly off the Generark, and it says that it used about 950 watts to run that power saw. And this is my Polson 3.5 horsepower, 13.5 amp, and I think it's a 14-inch chainsaw, electric chainsaw. I use this all the time when I'm trimming trees and stuff like that, so I don't have to use gas. A lot more convenient, and these actually have more torque and more power than a gas chainsaw, and you don't have to pull to start them. So here's this. And it says that used about 730 watts. Okay, so I can run all my power tools that I run around my cabin here for doing work, and also do remote work if I want to. I can put this in my truck, take it anywhere I want to go, power up all my power tools without having to use the gas generator. I don't have to pay for any gas. I can even charge it up in the field with the solar panels that I got. That's a pretty dang good test for an off-grid power generator. And this has enough power in it that you could easily do a full day's work with your power tools, and probably still have some power left over. Okay, so what I've got here is my Frigidaire, and I believe this is a 5,000 BTU window air conditioner, which is an Energy Star. So it's a very efficient window air conditioner that I have used in the past, but it uses more power than my 400 watt system would produce. So let's see if it will run off of this Generark here. On AC, put this on high cool, and it's on maximum cool, and it is running. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is running just fine, putting out cold air. It'll take a few minutes for it to start putting out cold air. Let's see how many watts it's running. It says it is running 363 watts. Runs fine off of this unit here. And so with the solar panels plugged into this, which is what I recommend if you're using this, have the at least 200 watts of solar panels running this, and then you'd only be running about 130 watts off of the batteries, and so you could keep this running for several hours, I would say, one of these small 5,000 BTU window units like this. And right now I'm using an 85 watt swamp cooler, or an evaporative cooler made by Hess, so it would run all day long and probably all night long off of the Generark using that unit instead of this unit here. Okay, and here is my Hess Air evaporative cooler, which I use all the time. It has a very large water tank. For here in high desert area where we have low humidity, one of these works a lot more efficiently than the window unit that I showed you, and that's why I switched to using one of these. Comes right on, produces a lot of air, cools it right down, and this is using, let's see, it says it is using 58 watts 58 watts, and that's putting out good air right there, okay? And Hess Air, again, off Amazon, good units, so that works really well. And this is my Dirt Devil vacuum, something that probably doesn't get used near often enough at my cabin, but I do have a vacuum, and it does work. Running just great, and it says it uses about 380. It says it uses about 380 watts. So I can run that. I can run all my power tools. I can run either type of air conditioner that I want to run. I can run a window unit, or I can run my evaporative cooler. I can even clean my cabin, do all my chores, and cook a meal, which I'm going to show you right now. I'll take this in and I'll run the microwave with it. Okay, so here I have the Generark Home Power 1 set up just temporarily to show you some of the appliances that this will run. And right now what I've got plugged in through the 12-volt DC plug, or what they call a cigarette plug lighter, is my Alpacool C20 fridge, which I've now had for over 2 years. I love this fridge. It runs excellent, and this runs either off of a 12-volt, 24-volt, or 110-volt. I run it off the 12-volt. Uses less power. Like I told you, I don't have to use the inverter if I'm running off a 12-volt. And it is running perfectly off of this thing. However, the compressor is not running right now because it's already reached temperature. It's already cleared down to 20 degrees. So I keep mine set low so that it keeps the stuff on the bottom frozen, keeps the stuff on the top fresh, and so I have it set quite low. It will only use power, or enough power to register, when the compressor kicks on. And I've already tested this with when the compressor kicks on. It will use between 35 and 40 watts. So not very much. It would run, it should run at that rate. It should run 2 or 3 days just off of this Generark unit, just like this, running just like this. Now, I also use a microwave, but because my system is small here at the cabin, I usually run the microwave off of my gas generator that I showed you out there. I use the gas generator, and so I'd like to get off that and be able to use the microwave without using the gas generator. And I also have my little toaster oven and coffee maker up there on top. So we're going to see if it will run all of these appliances. But this should run this microwave. This is just a small Sunbeam microwave like a lot of people have in their RVs and campers. So let's try this here. I'm going to cook me some snack rolls. Put those in there. We'll heat them up for 2 minutes. And we'll see if it runs. Start it up, and it is spinning. You can see the lights on inside. It is spinning. Let's see how many watts this uses. It says it is using 1175 or 1100, yeah, about 1175 maximum watts running that little microwave. And let's see if it runs for, well, I'll stop it now so you don't have to sit and wait for 2 minutes, but it should run it for 2 minutes, no problem. But it will run these little microwaves just fine. So now I don't have to use my gas generator out there. When I have this recharged, I can just use this for the, in general, at the most I would run this for is maybe 10 minutes. Most meals I'm just heating up, like burritos and pizza and stuff like that. Those only take about 4 minutes. And so you're not going to use very much battery power at all. And like I said, if you have this plugged into the solar panels at the same time, then you're reducing the amount of power that is draining from the batteries. It would be getting, upwards of 200 of the watts from the solar panels, and the rest would be coming from the batteries. So it would run a very long time. Okay, so now I'm going to plug in this toaster oven. Got the toaster oven plugged in, and we will just set this. I will put the timer on. It's on mode. Just set the timer. And it comes on, and this has two elements in there, which should heat up. Yes, and okay, you can feel the heat coming out, and there you can see the top element come on, and then it also has the griddle and oven, so it has both. Okay, and that is the griddle and broiler, which is up here, which gets warm. That's running the griddle and broiler, and there it is running the toaster. We'll see if that element comes on. Now, elements use a lot of power, I'll just tell you now. So there you can see the element getting red. And so the element is coming on and turning on for a toaster oven. It says it's using 253 watts. But it will run, as you can see, it is running that top element there. And according to this, it is using about 250 or 260 watts to run that top element. and so it will run that, and it runs the griddle. That's also heating up the griddle up here, and I'm sure it will also run the coffee pot. So if I turn this off and I turn on the coffee pot, yes, it will also run the coffee maker, so I can make coffee out of my coffee maker here. So this unit will take care of my refrigeration needs. It will run the Alpacool C20 fridge over there, which I use all the time, and that's fairly low watt. It'll run that for probably 2 or 3 days, no problem. It will run my microwave, and I only run the microwave anywhere from 4 to 10 minutes generally, just to heat up foods. It will run my little coffee pot coffee maker, and you know, so that's enough there. I'm sure it will also run some other appliances, 12 volt you know, RV and trucker appliances. I'm sure it'll run those, no problem, if it will run that heater element in that coffee pot.